1 in 5 people in Australia have a disability, and we are significantly disadvantaged as a group. The largest barrier that people with disabilities face is the attitude barrier. We're limited by the soft bigotry of low expectations. People make a whole lot of assumptions about what we won't be able to do, and most of those assumptions are negative, and most of them are wrong.
No one's ever asked me what I wanted to do or what I'm passionate about. And then my design and technology teacher sat down beside me and asked me, what are you passionate about, Mel? What would you like to do in your career? I asked him, what can I do? And he pointed to the computer in front of me and said, if you learn to use this properly, this can become a tool that will introduce you to unlimited possibilities and opportunities. When I started at Torrens, I was worried that I wouldn't fit in, but every lecturer that I've had has only seen me as an individual, has only seen me as a young person who wants to learn and who wants to make a difference. I think I hear a lot of people talk about inclusion and diversity. Over the years at Torrens, it's one of the few times that I've actually experienced what it was like to have these two principles in place.
I think it's really important for Melanie to get education because she's so smart and sassy, and she really needs that credential to really take that forward into community so that they can see past her disability. But I think education needs Melanie, because we need our students, we need our staff, we need our community, we need the world to realise everybody has something to give, and we all have something to learn from everybody else's unique perspective.
The fact that I went from being a student 4 years ago at Torrens who's just purely passionate about design but don't know much about the industry, to now 4 years later, I work with social enterprises and being able to apply what I've learned in class into the industry.
So Hire Up is an online platform that gives Australians with disability the power to find, hire and manage their very own care and support workers.
The beauty of Hire Up is the fact that it cuts out the middleman. It enables people with disability to be in the driver's seat. So my role at Hire Up is a junior UX designer. So UX design is essentially the study of human behaviour and understanding the users and how users interact with a product or service.
How does a person view the website through to the actual experience of the product? It's thinking through the whole user journey, and Mel's involved from start to finish in that process.
I provide our users, whether it's people with disability or support workers, the right tools to help them form successful relationships online.
We've already registered in the last 3 years about 50,000 people right around Australia. We are processing hundreds of thousands of hours a month of support, and we're saving our end users millions of dollars. I think we've saved about $8 million over the last couple of years.
The fact is, behind the scenes, none of this is possible without my team. I'll always see the support workers that surround me as the engine to my car.
Technology can make a huge contribution to building a more inclusive society. I have far greater access because of the technology that I use, using Braille and speech. Technology, though, if it's not designed specifically with the whole community in mind, can also exclude and limit people with disabilities. And that's why it's so critical that people with disabilities play part of the user design process in the development of technology.
AbilityMate is a for-purpose technology startup, and our mission is to help kids get access to the equipment they need for their posture and mobility. The World Health Organization estimates that there are 100 million people around the world that need orthoses or prosthetics, and only 1 in 10 are getting them. So traditionally, custom-made orthoses are made using plaster casting. It's a very manual, artisanal craft. The plaster casting can be quite traumatic for the children and everyone involved. The new way that we've developed is from the power of 3D scanning. Once we have a digital capture of the child's lower limb, we then customise it, then partner with 3D printing facilities anywhere in the world, and we have the product 3D printed locally to where the child is.
There's never a one-size-fits-all. Each individual has a unique need and need to be supported differently. Really listening to our users and letting our users drive the design decisions.
She knows better than anyone else in our company what it's like to live in an environment that hasn't been designed for you or with you in mind. That kind of perspective on design and the way we build our products is just gold.
Here we go.
Her achievement, which I never think that she can do this. And now she nearly finished her uni. It is a big surprise to me too. And she works for 2 companies, and this is another surprise. Once she make up her mind, she would never give in. And she always try her best to show how she would do because of people looking at her and always think that she's a girl in a wheelchair. She couldn't do anything, but she just wants to prove people that I can do whatever the able people can do. And even I can do much better if I try my best. I'm really proud of her, and I always say that she is a gift from God.
Much of my work is to change that attitude towards people with disability, to get the 80% of other members in society without disabilities to give us just an equal chance, not a better chance, but an equal chance to achieve what I know we can when we're given that opportunity.
I'd love to see inclusion and diversity be used as a common principle, whether it's for a product or a service or culturally in general. Each individual is recognised for their ability. The fact that if you have a disability, then you have to fit into the society, the environment and the culture. Why isn't the society that we live in and the culture that we've built flexible enough to adapt?